Hi, this is Fred Karpoff with Entrada Piano. The following is an extended video of me working with Allison, who was 5 years and 9 months old at the time. What's captured here is one example of the process of working with a young child. On the surface, it's about counting and tapping, but upon closer review, there are several other things happening during the course of this lesson segment. So this is the first part and the second part, but let's just count the first one and tap it.
So it has to be a part.
Can you show how you tap this and count it? So we're gonna count it. We'll do it together. You count. Ready? So it's one. Oops, not this one. Right. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. Can you do both hands? You think?
1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 1.
3 and 1.
I did 1, 2, and 3.
Right. Didn't need the hands. Right.
I still did it.
Try it. Allison noticed that she had been counting all of the 8 notes, even when they were not present, by saying the word and. This shows how there are different approaches to counting. What I had taught her was to differentiate between counting quarter notes and longer note values versus eighth notes, and thus not verbalizing and when it wasn't needed. For other students, it may be necessary or desirable to continue to speak the word and for every offbeat eighth note. When that subpulse is well understood, I advise transitioning to not speaking the word and when it isn't necessary.
One.
Nope.
One.
Nope, not this one.
No.
You start at the beginning.
1, 2, 3. 1, 2, and 3. And 1.
So what happened? Okay,
1,
so rest for a
2,
second.
3, and
Rest for a second.
1.
Here, put your hands on top of mine. When Allison encountered difficulty, I started to work with her with kinesthetic transference. This is a powerful way of transmitting information very quickly. The main responsibility of the student is just to take a free ride, to passively ride on the teacher's hands or arms, to experience the sensation of both the movement and the rhythm, and to pay attention to what's happening in the music. 3 and 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. 3 and 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Is that right?
I rather like this part. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 1, 3, and 1, 2.
1, 2, 3, and 1, right?
I like the 1.
Okay, so
2,
sit tall.
3,
Sit tall.
1,
It's your turn,
2,
Allison.
1.
Allison's mother attends her lessons and sometimes provides verbal cues to draw her back to attention. Sometimes that's helpful, but I actually prefer to allow the child's imagination to take flight to a certain extent. In this case, I used 2 main tactics to assist Allison's focus. One was using her name, and the other was to ask her to sit tall. I've noticed that when a young person is told to sit straight or sit with your back straight, they often arch their back and introduce unnecessary tension. So get your good posture, and now can you do it? 1. I'll do it with you.
1, 2, 1, 2, and
3 and 1.
1, 2, 3, and 1. 3, 1, 2, 3, and...
So what's happening? Here I asked, so what's happening? However, after reviewing the video, we can see that I missed that Allison had locked her elbows while she is trying to tap and count. Eventually, this contributed to her not being able to sustain a steady flow.
I did 3 and...
Yes, but which hand did it? Did you use the right hand, the left hand, or both?
No, I did the right hand.
You did both.
Nah.
Yes, I'm afraid you did. I think it's important to consistently point out what needs to be improved while keeping the atmosphere upbeat and fun. Asking questions here promotes awareness of what results actually are and lets the student know that it's okay to make mistakes and that they're also an important, regular part of learning, and that the teacher is still going to tell the truth regardless. Opening up our awareness of what's actually happening is what's key. So see how this one is actually got a stay, and this one has a rest, so you have to lift your hand. Can you tap it correctly? Let's do it together. Ready? I invited Allison to count and tap the passage with me, side by side, as another way of experiencing the activity, kind of as part of a team. 1, 2, 3, go. Ready? You ready?
1,
Nope.
2,
This one's got a rest.
1. I did it already.
Ready?
Yeah.
You do it.
1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, and 1.
Almost. Notice how Allison expressed her frustration at not nailing it, and how I said, almost. This is typical development of section by section work, with an error creeping in when the pattern changes. After we circled the rests, I suggested isolating a small fragment of the passage, 3 and 1, with the right hand alone. Your left hand comes in and plays the downbeat, right? So you're trying to do your rests.
And this one.
So when you practice this, you can go like this, right? You can go 3 and 1, just with your right hand. 3 and 1.
1, 2, 3, 1. Oh, yeah.
You need that one.
1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, and 1.
No 1.
No.
You don't have to take your hand all the way
Just
behind your
exit.
back. Note how Allison decided to put her left hand all the way back behind her back when it wasn't needed. Of course, this eventually caused an extra coordination issue, and I almost offhandedly laughed and told her that she didn't need to take her hand so far away. One last time. Relax.
1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, and 1.
Try it again. I bet you got it. I bet you can do it.
it.
3 and... So, no, wait, I got an idea. Wait, let's change it. I encouraged her to do it again, to kind of plow through, but then suggested trying something new. Beginners of all ages respond really well to counting and tapping hands together with just 3 words, right, left, and both. Rather than add the difficulty of counting with numbers in a set meter such as 3/4, students can kinesthetically understand how to tap a passage with the correct coordination first, and then it becomes much easier to count with numbers while also doing the correct tapping. So do this with me, and let's say, so you either say right, both, or right, or let's see, left is never alone, right? So we're going to say right or both in the rhythm. Do you understand what I mean? So we'll go like this, right, both, both, both. Right, 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 both, both, both. Can you do that?
Okay. Right, both, both, both. Right, 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 both, both, both. Right, 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 both, both, both. Right, right, right.
Both, both.
Oh!
Allison almost made it the whole way. As you'll see shortly, she noticed that I hadn't correctly foreseen that the left hand would finish the passage by itself, and that I hadn't instructed her to say left. I'd only said right and both. Right.
Right.
You got to do it in time.
Right.
Do it again. Right,
Right,
right, both,
both, both,
both, left, left.
No, you still have to count right. You didn't say to do left.
I forgot, you're right. I didn't tell you, but there's two left by
left,
themselves,
yeah.
right? So it's either right
Just
Left
say left.
or both of them.
Just say left here.
Uh-huh. As had been happening earlier, Allison gave me direction regarding what I should write on her score. She said, just say left, and pointed for where I should write that into the music. Left, left. Is that what you want?
Left, left. Yeah, and do like a line.
You do.
Like an arrow. Yeah.
Later, while she gave more feedback to me, I handed the pencil to her so she could write directly on the score what she was imagining. I find it important often to just wait. During a lesson, her mother would often say, Allison, when Allison seemed to be going off on a tangent or maybe not showing sufficient respect in her mom's eyes. I find that there are many instances that require more time than we adults might prefer to take, where a child is engaging in something very creative. I often find that if we wait for it a little longer, it's worth the wait.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah, I need to
okay.
do that.
Okay, I don't want to spend too much more time on this, but can you think you can do it all together one last
so
time?
why?
Can you do the whole thing with that?
Right, both, both, both. Right, 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 both, both, both. Right, 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 both, both, both. Right, right, both, 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 both. Left, left.